So today we're going to be working on landing our left hooks, our lead hooks. If you're southpaw, it's the same thing, but the other way around. So just working on your lead hooks. So where most people go wrong where they can't actually land the hook is that they can only throw a hook in a one-dimensional way. And how most people learn how to hook, it's a very, very short hook. It's you're here and they can only land if they're in this very, very close range, which of course can be effective if you're really close to somebody, you're both in the pocket and you can land those shots. But when you actually want to land a hook when your opponent is a bit further away, that technique doesn't really work because you're completely out of range all of the time. So what we're going to be working on is a mixture of different lead hooks, you know, close range, far range, just basically making sure that no matter where that person is, if we want to land that hook, we can execute it. So, to take these off, so we're here. So we have our stance, our shoulders nice and loose, our guard up here, and again, we're going to be throwing in what most people do anyway is the close hook. So we're here, and all we're doing is landing here, nice and close. Our opponent's in our range. We're both, we're both in the pocket together, exchanging punches. We want to be landing that. So all we're going to be doing is using our hip to generate some power. So first of all, if we're learning this technique, all we want to be able to do is push our hips forward like this. Because if you're just standing with a base and you're trying to throw it with no hip movement, first of all, it's very, very hard to land any power. And second of all, it's a lot slower. So if you look at this, no hip movement at all, no movement at all. Then if we're here and we use our hips to drive in at first. So drive, shot, drive, shot. So it's like, you can see the difference of just pushing that forward, being able to land the punch. You almost give yourself, it's almost like an elastic band. You're firing up the elastic band, then you're letting go of it and you can fire that across. You see, so push in very slow motion. There's two movements, push, bang. And then when you put it together, you're there. So that's the close hook. You're nice and close, you're just firing it in. You're both in the guard and you're firing it in. Then when it comes a bit more harder, is when you want to actually land a hook from a bit further away. It's almost a bit harder to generate power until you learn the technique. So what we're going to be doing is we get our guard, we have our shoulders nice and loose. We're ready to fire. Guard, we're nice and loose, and we're going to be firing in from there. So now my opponent's here instead of being here, and I can really catch him on the way out. So it's almost like if I want to throw a jab to fake, I can, and he leans back slightly, that shot is always there as well to land that left hook. And it's probably why you're not landing left hooks in sparring, is because you're throwing the hook too short. So we'll do it again. We're here. See how it's coming right the way around? You can see the position here. My hand is, the distance between my shoulder and my hand is a lot further away than when I'm here and throwing the hook. So same again. It's the same principles in regards to your hip movement, firing in the hip first and then throwing it rather than throwing it without any hip movement. But again, we're here and we can land it. You almost need to feel that pop in your shoulder at the end of the shot, that explosive pop at the end. Instead of it just being one movement, it's almost like you're throwing here, then popping right at the end. You see? You're getting that explosiveness at the end. Best way to practice this, you can practice this when you're shadow boxing at home. If I have access to a punch bag, even better. Get in front of the punch bag, throw some hooks, just nice and quick and nice and close to the bag so you're in the pocket. Then just take it half a step back and try and generate the same power as when you were just throwing the shot in the guard. And you'll notice that the more you practice, the better you get, and it'll allow you then to be able to land and throw hooks from different positions, different angles, and different ranges. Okay, so make sure you like the video, save this if you've been struggling with landing the hook.